Hello and welcome to this demo, which will focus on the new channel service for Hyperledger Fabric. I'll start with a little background. The channel service is the new gRPC service that is available on a peer endpoint. This service allows clients to register for events on a per channel basis, and because these are events per channel, it allows us to easily utilize the new RSCC and its policies to define access control on these events. So here on my screen I have up the JSON that will be fed to config.tx later to build the channel artifacts that are needed to join the channel with my block policies. So I'll quickly just show what I've defined for this environment and then give you a quick little demo of it in action. So here I've defined a block policy which says that only identities of org1 are allowed to receive block events. And then down below I have a filtered block policy which states that members of org1 and also of org2 can receive filtered block events. And then just a little lower I have the mappings to the actual resource names in the source code, and then I tell it to use these new policies. Alright, so at this point I'll switch over to some terminals where I've already started up my environments. And so what I'd like to show is connecting to the channel service via an example listener that I will make available. So here, if you're familiar with the block listener sample, it follows a similar pattern. We just point it to the peer, you pass in its MSP directory and the MSP ID that you're using, and you just hit enter. So now we're waiting for events there. And so in terminal 2 here, what I'll do is I've already set this up to use org2. So I'll start a second listener there. And shrink these down just a little. So now we can see these are both waiting for events from the same peer, and they're both set up for the same channel. So now what I'll do is I'm going to send in 2 invokes. And I've used a modified example that will allow me to try to get 2 transactions into a single block, and then we'll look at the output. Alright, so it looks like I was able to get both transactions in there. And so what we can see is here on the left, since we've been listening, we received block number 6, and then you get just some, and this is a block event about block number 6, and it shows information about the different transactions, and then you also see the filtered block information, which includes the block number, the transactions within it, and then whether they're valid or not, and then if you set any chain code events from your chain code, that would also be populated here. So just as a reminder, this was org1 here on the left, which had the access control policy state that it could receive both block events and filtered block events. While over here on the right we can see that it was listening at the exact same time, but it only received the filtered block event, and that's due to the access control policy. So that's really about it for now. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, this code will be all available very soon. Thank you for your time.